We are off to the Combine. Mary Kay Cabot is standing by. Can't wait to hear what the latest news is. She is on the Make It Right, Call Kyle Right hotline. Make sure you read Mary Kay Cabot every day in the Plain Dealer and Cleveland.com. Hello, Mary Kay. How are you?
I'm doing great, guys. How you doing?
Hi, Mary Kay. Thanks for your time today.
Good.
Busy day.
And you're busy already. You're pumping out great articles out of there. First of all, let's talk about the latest one about the Browns wanting to maybe perhaps move down in the draft. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I just think that look at what happened with them last year. They were able to make that blockbuster trade. They transformed their running game by that, and they still haven't even made the number 24 overall pick that they got out of that. They also got Mason Graham. So that really was a home run for Andrew Berry, and if he can find something like that again, he would absolutely be up for doing that, and why not? They're in rebuilding mode. They need all the help they can get. They need all the picks they can get.
Mary Kay, picking up a 2027 first-round draft choice would appear to be a great idea. Do you think is that what they're shooting for if they try to trade down?
If they could end up with another first-rounder for next year. That would absolutely be ideal for them. So if there's any way that they can make that happen, that would be probably front of mind for them because, of course, you have all those quarterbacks coming out next year that many people thought would be coming out this year. So it really gives them a chance to be poised once again next year in which should be a rich quarterback class.
All right, so let me go back to your article you had right before that, too, in Cleveland.com. Make sure you read it, where you talk about the headline is Browns have Malik Willis and Ty Simpson on their radar as they explore external quarterback options. Let me start here with Ty Simpson just because it's more draft related. What do you think they would be thinking on Ty Simpson? Where would they draft him, and how would he fit into the equation with the current quarterback room?
Well, if they did draft a Ty Simpson and they drafted him high, then he would come in, I would think, ahead of Shedeur Sanders and probably be then competing with Deshaun Watson for the starting job at the jump of 2026. That's how I think that would probably go. But it's hard to say. It depends on how a guy comes along. He's only started 15 games in the NFL. So you just never know. I mean, in college, so you just never know how ready a guy is going to be. But certainly if you draft a first-round quarterback, he's going to jump pretty much to the head of the class of your other rookies.
Malik Willis is the guy who's sitting pretty in a free agent group that's not real appealing, Mary Kay. Really small sample size. Two things. How could they afford him? Do you think they would sink money into that? And where would he fit with this quarterback crew? I would assume he would immediately become the starter.
Excuse me, yes, he would be. If you're going to go out and spend that kind of money on a Malik Willis, then he is going to become your starter because it would take $25 million to $30 million a year potentially to sign him. And if you're going to go out and commit those kinds of resources to him, you are going to bring him in as the presumptive starter. Now, we will be talking to Andrew Berry in about an hour or so. And when we talk to Andrew, we'll have a better handle on maybe how he feels about some of these things. But I would think that would be the way that you would have to go if you're bringing in a Malik Willis.
Do you think they will, Mary Kay? I think he fits exactly what Todd Monken said he's looking for in a quarterback, combining the ability to pass and the ability to run. I just don't see it. Do you?
Well, I do see it in terms of talent, ability, money, all those kinds of things. I do see it because they can afford to do this. The only thing is it a fit for Malik Willis? His agent also represents Deshaun Watson. It's hard to say if he would want those guys competing against each other. So, it has to be a fit from the other side as well. And that's what I'm not really too sure about at this point. I had heard that he was almost destined to go to Miami, but that doesn't mean it's going to work out that way.
Yeah.
If the Browns really want him, they can go ahead and make a strong pitch for him and see what they can get out of it.
Mary Kay, is he, in your mind, the only guy they could bring in who screams he would be the starting quarterback on this team next year?
No, I don't think so. I think that there are probably other guys that maybe they would have in mind in that regard as well. I don't know who those guys would be right at the moment, but I certainly don't think that he's the only one that they're looking at in terms of a veteran option. I mean, who knows? Maybe they'll try to trade for someone. Maybe they'll see if they can get the 49ers to part with Mac Jones. I mean, I'm sure there are other veterans that they're looking at right now.
Would Kyler Murray and Tua Tagovailoa be of interest if they get let go?
I think they'll look at everyone. I think they'll look at everyone, and some will be more likely to end up here than others. But when you're talking about veteran quarterbacks like that who have started a lot of games and who might be able to come in right away and help you as a starter, I think they owe it to themselves to look at all those kind of guys.
Mary Kay Cabot joining us. She is at the Scouting Combine in Indianapolis for the Plain Dealer, Cleveland.com. She'll have great coverage. Make sure you check it out. There are a ton of wide receivers there, Mary Kay. And if you're the Browns and you know you have a need there, you have a need at the offensive line, and there are some really good defensive players at the top of this draft, are you earmarking a position, or are you looking and scouting and thinking – who's the best player when we get on the clock at 6, if, in fact, you're still at 6?
Yeah, I think you have to go best available player. Now, this year, it's in their best interest that the best available players are also positions of need for them. So I definitely think that they're going to go best available player, because the quickest way to find yourself out of a job in the NFL is to pick mediocre players or above-average players over dominant players in the NFL. You can't do that. But in this case, there are plenty of good tackles and plenty of good wide receivers in this draft.
10 draft picks, 3 in the 5th round. Do you think Andrew Berry is thinking we're going to sit there and we're going to try and draft as many guys as possible, or are they going to be wheeling and dealing and trying to move those picks, move up and everything else?
I think that they're going to be wheeling and dealing, and I do think that they would love to trade down from number 6 if they can. Because once again, if you can be poised to take a quarterback next year in a much better quarterback class, then then you want to be able to do that, just like they were going to be poised to be able to do that this year as well. So they will be looking for those opportunities, and sometimes those things begin right here at the Combine. Sometimes they begin even earlier than the Combine, but this is where a lot of that business starts to take place.
Okay, there always seems to be a premium when a team is trying to trade up to draft a quarterback. And I can't imagine a team trying to trade up to 6 to draft Ty Simpson unless his stock just absolutely soars at the Combine. With that thought in mind, if the Browns were, let's just say, to drop to the middle of the 1st round and trade 6 away, what kind of a return do you think that would bring? Would that bring an additional 1st-round pick, or would that bring maybe a 2nd this year?
It's hard to say. If a team looks at Ty Simpson and sees him as their quarterback of the future, then they would be willing to give up, I'm sure, maybe a 1st-round pick for him. But it just depends on what the teams are thinking about these quarterbacks, and we don't know that yet. At this time last year, we all thought that Shedeur Sanders was going to be a 1st-round pick. Now, this year, a lot of people have Ty Simpson down lower than originally thought.
Yeah.
But once again, we don't know what the teams are thinking yet. And, that's where everybody gets a little bit crossed up, because what the teams think and what the draft experts think are 2 different things.
What have you thought of the staff that Todd Monken has put together and the way they went about doing that?
So far, so good. I mean, they just added Dom Capers. He brings head coaching experience. He brings defensive coordinator experience. I think it's good for Todd to have a former head coach on his staff. I think it's good for Mike Rutenberg now to have a senior defensive assistant helping him out. There are a lot of guys in new positions, but I remember back when Bill Belichick was here in Cleveland, and he assembled a staff of really new young guys, and not a lot of them had even NFL experience. Some of them did, some of them didn't. But that was a really, really good, energetic young staff, and they went on to do great things. So far, I like what I see from this staff, and we're just going to have to see how it all plays out.
Mary Kay, with the needs on the offensive line and at wide receiver, I keep kind of flashing back to last year's draft where they took 2 quarterbacks and then took 2 running backs. And it just screams to me, they could draft 2, maybe even 3 offensive linemen in this draft. Certainly could draft 2 wide receivers. Do you think that's an approach they take, or are they just going to look at their board and take the best guy who's out there?
Well, like I said, they're lucky that offensive linemen and wide receivers are deep in this draft. And so I don't think they're going to end up without those positions in this draft. I would be very surprised if they don't draft 1 or 2 offensive linemen and at least 1 receiver. And then I think they have to add, I would be trading for a receiver or signing a veteran somehow. Not sure who that would be just yet. But, I think they need to add another proven receiver somehow. I don't know if they feel that way. We'll find out a little bit more again from Andrew and Todd over the next 2 days. But I just think that whoever your quarterback is going to be, he needs more weapons. I mean, he's got Harold. They really hope to rehabilitate Jerry Jeudy and get him back on track, but they need 2 more really 1,000-yard level receivers or tight ends.
All right, Mary Kay, hey, thank you. We appreciate your time, and best of luck there at the Combine. Thank you.
Sounds good. Thanks a lot.
All right,
Thanks,
we'll talk to you soon.
Kay.
Mary Kay Cabot, nice enough to join us live from the Combine. Of course, she was on the Make It Right, Call Kyle Wright hot.